Welcome aboard for another ICS Defense Force episode. My name is Dean Parsons, certified SANS instructor for ICS 515 and ICS 418. Today we'll continue talking about incident response for ICS and OT. Today we'll focus specifically on eradication and recovery. But of course, anything we talk about in ICS Defense Force is applicable to the critical infrastructure sectors you see here. Our last conversation, we talked about containment. So we will leverage everything we learned from containment and allow us to use that from in the eradication and recovery phase. Any questions you have throughout, please put those in the comments section. Also, feel free to share your experiences in incident response for control systems as well. So how do we consider safety through eradication and recovery? Well, eradication, of course, is eliminating a threat from an environment, which may mean removing malware from an environment, removing remote access the adversary may have established. And the restoration or recovery is restoring a system to normal operational state. That means full production of engineering systems as expected. Now, a question that comes up is, when is eradication conducted? In IT, it's fairly immediately. However, in ICS, in a contained state, a threat is in a contained state, we may have to wait for full eradication to happen at a later time when it's safer for operations, which means we're waiting till that next scheduled maintenance window. Remember, traditional containment and eradication steps may cause more damage to control systems than the actual threat. So it may be appropriate to wait it out a little bit, again, when we have a threat in a contained state. Now, recovery aspect, of course, all throughout every aspect here, the ICS security team is continuing to monitor for threat activity in the environment. In this case, before restoration is done, the ICS security team is continuing to monitor and do verification that no threats are in the environment. The engineering staff during recovery is, of course, re-imaging systems, installing engineering software, loading ladder logic, and maybe even resetting set points in the control system as well on critical assets like the HMI. In the recovery aspect, there's several roles that are going to be doing certain tasks. Specifically, engineering staff are loading the ladder logic we talked about. The ICS security defenders are going to be monitoring the ICS controlled traffic, looking at logs, and so on and so forth. Even remote access is being monitored, of course. Operators of the HMI can do verification of set points on the HMI, again, fully restoring the system back to operational state. We also have engineering management teams also understanding what the business aspect of that restoration is as well, verifying that critical systems outside the ICS that may be relied on are up and running as expected, such as the MES systems and ERP systems. So I do want to leave you with some questions for takeaway and consideration from eradication and recovery. Specifically, they are: can non-disruptive threats be removed without a shutdown in the control environment? Also, operations working from alternate HMIs, embedded operations, is that possible in your environment, or can you operate from manual mode? As well, verification of eradication is done by the ICS security team. Is that something that's continued through these processes? Also, during every step of incident response, the documentation is critical for the next phase, which is lessons learned. So with that, again, I invite you to pop in any questions you have in the comments section. We will get to those shortly. And the next episode of ICS Defense Force is going to be on ICS Incident Response Lessons Learned. Thanks very much for joining the conversation. I'll talk to you soon.